Hello and welcome to Premier League Today. Well, who said games between Manchester United and Liverpool were boring? 5 goals shared between them at Old Trafford as Old Trafford hosted the game of the weekend, Kelly.
Yes, it was. And who else but Bruno Fernandes was the match winner for United as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup.
The 3-2 defeat means it's only 1 win in 7 games now for Jurgen Klopp's side, with a trip to Tottenham up next.
Yeah, tough time
today. But we want to ask you, do you think anyone has made a bigger impact than Bruno Fernandes in his first 12 months in the Premier League? It's been an astonishing year for Bruno, breaking records left, right and centre. If you can think of anyone, let us know. Use the hashtag PLFans on social media. We'll read out some of those a little bit later.
Yeah, but before we go any further, let's take a little look at those FA Cup results involving our top flight clubs. No upsets as it stands. Wolves beating Chorley by 1-0. Southampton, Brighton, Sheffield United and West Ham all winning. Man City had a scare, but they beat Cheltenham as well. And there were some games on Sunday as well for us to enjoy. Wins as well for Chelsea, Leicester, Burnley and Everton. Still one game tonight between Wycombe and Spurs. But of course, the big one was Manchester United beating Liverpool by 3-0. It was a cracker. I was fortunate enough to be there. Let's now hear from the managers.
We scored 2 goals. We had other situations where we could have scored as well. We had other situations where we created really well against a deep defending block, so that is good. All these kind of things are a lot of good things, but in the end we know it's a result game and we want to have results, and if we score 2, that doesn't mean we should then concede 3 in this moment.
Fantastic to go into or win games against obviously last year's champions, a fantastic team, and we've had good results over the last couple of years. Playing different systems, but this time we play on our terms as well. We've found a way that we believe in, the players believe in, and we're getting stronger and stronger.
Right, let's go to Johannesburg and speak to Neil Andrews, who's a presenter for Supersport. Neil, good to have you on Premier League Today again. Look, we were just talking there and asking everyone watching, can you think of someone who's had a bigger, or, the same impact as Bruno Fernandes in 12 months? He's celebrating a year as a Manchester United player this week, and it's been an incredible journey so far.
Hi, Will. Hi, Kelly. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. And Manchester United, I think, at times, through Bruno Fernandes, have been picked up from the canvas and have come back and showed why they are where they are in the league at the moment. I wouldn't say it's a one-man team, because obviously one can't say that, but there's no doubt that he has been able to get the best of the squad around him. And when we saw him the other day, his reaction to being substituted, to me, that summed up how he's wearing the badge. And even when Ole's tried to rest him, he's coming on into the second half, changing games, scoring winners. He has been sensational.
You talked there about the way he wears the badge, the enthusiasm he has. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said post-match that when he told Bruno on Friday he wasn't starting, he then stayed out and did extra free kick training. So Ole said when he came on, he had no qualms. He knew he was going to score. But that also says a lot about mentality. And at Manchester United, you need to have a certain mentality, don't you? And it sounds like he fits the mould and he's doing everything he can to be the best he can be at that.
Kelly, I think you're spot on. He's led from the front, and at a club where I suspect they had a few leadership issues. There were some question marks over the commitment of some of the senior players, and he has just shown everybody how it's done. And when you have a leader like that, then the young players are obviously following, and he has really been their talisman. He has been sensational. He's supposed to be just a set play expert, but he's proven so much more. And I think a very intelligent footballer as well. And as you say, he comes on and created, all that extra practice, obviously, from the free kicks was put to good use, as it was the difference between Manchester United winning on the day and Liverpool taking it to extra time. So I couldn't agree with you guys more. He's been, across the Premier League, probably, pound for pound, the most influential player at any club this season.
Yeah, and it's a first win, isn't it, Neil, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer against Liverpool? I know this was the FA Cup, but how big an impact will that have on the title race for them?
I think massive, Will. I think it's got to give them confidence and self-belief. And Liverpool fans will be quick to say, well, there's something wrong with us. We're not producing the goods. But that's not Manchester United's problem. You can only play and beat who's put in front of you. They will probably recognise that Liverpool are not playing their best brand of football for whatever reason. That's probably another show we could discuss for 45 minutes to work out what's going on there. But as I say, from Manchester United's point of view, they can only keep winning and keep producing the goods, coming from behind time and time again. Their best players playing well. So it's got to be a huge feather in their cap and a boost going forward, no question.
Looking at it from the Liverpool angle there, though, Klopp was pretty optimistic post-match. He said he saw signs that they are starting to return to form. They got back scoring, of course, 2 goals for Mo Salah. So can you see some green shoots of recovery, perhaps, for the champions?
It's an interesting question, and you're asking a Spurs man, and that's their next fixture. So I'm going to answer you and say, no, I don't see any green shoots. I only see Kane shots, not shoots. I'm hoping that maybe one more match that they're still off the boil, and then once Spurs have beaten them, then they can start showing their green shoots. But seriously, I think there's issues there. I don't know what it is. We obviously in South Africa have a lot of passionate debate with Liverpool fans and Manchester United fans. There's a great culture of football, Premier League football here in South Africa. And having spoken to Terry Payne, the 1966 World Cup winner, during the week, he's like me. We can't quite put our finger on what's going on at Anfield, what's going on at Liverpool, but something's not quite right, and other sides are taking advantage of it for sure.
Yeah, it does look that way, doesn't it? So far, they're taking advantage. You've got some tweets there, Will.
Yeah, you guys have been getting in touch using the hashtag PLFans. We asked you, of course, for Bruno Fernandes, and has anyone made a bigger impact than him? Manuel's been in touch. I don't think there's anyone who's had a bigger impact than Fernandes in the last 12 months. He's raised the bar in not only Manchester United, but in the Premier League as well. Brendan says, Salah, for me, has made a huge impact and a bigger impact than Bruno. And they're going to rely, aren't they, on Mohamed Salah? And he got a decent goal, didn't he, yesterday, Neil? But it is hard to work out what is going wrong with Liverpool, because they are just not their fluid selves. Jurgen Klopp's admitted himself, hasn't he, that the fullbacks aren't bombing on as they used to, and that's because they haven't got that centre-back partnership. It's not a quick fix.
Well, I think you're 100% right. You know, it's a football team's a living organism, and you need that spine. You've got Alisson in goal, who's still a tremendous goalkeeper, but Virgil missing and those around him, which build that solid base, which then transforms itself through the midfield onto the Fab Three up front. I think that's where the problem is. There'll be other people saying, is the body language right of some of the players? I don't know. I don't want to be a part-time psychologist. But clearly the results speak for themselves. I mean, we've had, until the game against Manchester United, there have been 2 United States presidents since Liverpool had scored. So I'm glad that that's out of the way. And Mo Salah certainly took his chance as well. So he wasn't their trump card, excuse the pun, at the last game.
Good.
But yeah, there are signs there. But at the end of the day, to lose and get knocked out by your arch enemies like that, that's a bitter pill to swallow. So for me, it'll be interesting. But Liverpool have to regroup because they've got a lot of work to do in the Premier League as well.
He's biding his time. Neil.
You didn't get the opportunity to say that live on air. This is going to descend into some terrible puns and terrible jokes.
I'll credit someone else for that. That wasn't me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was worried you were going to repeat it, because we had that in our ear, didn't we? Let's talk Manchester City. Let's get away from those terrible puns. They did, of course, avoid a shock defeat because 1-0 up Cheltenham with their long throw. It did look like Pep had a few problems, but once again, Phil Foden stepped up. And, of course, the whole team, 3 goals in the final 9 minutes. What are you making of them at the moment and their mentality as well? We talk about it with United.
Well, I've got one final pun. I would say that Phil Foden is setting a precedent for Manchester City. He has really been excellent. On a serious note, though, a fabulous young player. At times, probably not getting the game time that